Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the Teardown Lab. Sorry for slamming those down, a bit noisy, but you've probably seen these things. These are 4K game sticks, and I purchased this ages ago. And you can see this is the dongle that comes with it. It's got a 2.5 gigahertz receiver, probably analog, and you shove that in like that, and it just works with it. Now, this has ceased to work, won't be recognising my PC. So I bought a replacement, is recognising a PC, isn't recognised by these. So I just gave up, to be honest with you. The whole kit now retails for about £15. So I just don't have the time or inclination to try to fix it. However, I thought it would be interesting to just dig into it, just see how it's put together and see if there's anything we can learn from it. Oops. So surprisingly, this is quite well glued together. I thought this is just going to like literally split apart. Like a slightest idea of splitting it apart. Well, there you go, that's not too bad. Oh, it's almost a shame to throw it away. Look at this thing. That's got a nice heat sink on there. So those are your 2 bits of NAND memory, I would say. That's probably holding your games. In fact, that's a lie. It would be holding your operating system because the games are provided by an SD card, which I believe it did come with a set of games on it. And it certainly wasn't 15 quid when I bought it. But that's what it is now. I'm just going to try to get this heat sink off. Yep. Now, you're probably saying, well, why are you busting it up and not playing with it? Oh, bugger, look. I pulled the BGA off. We will never know what that was, but probably some sort of ARM processor. The reason I'm just dismantling it, because I don't care, is because I already wasted so much time trying to get controllers to work with it. And they just didn't. So I don't know if you've managed to get aftermarket controllers. I thought it'd just be standard, to be honest with you. These little dongles appear in Windows just as a standard joypad, so you think, oh, that's going to work. But then when I plug those standard joypads into this, not recognised, so it's a bit fussy. And if you can't access the menu, then what can you do? Look at that. Throw it away. So let's discard that. We haven't really learnt too much from there. Just standard system on chip, really. There's really nothing exciting. I mean, the only thing that could be slightly interesting on it is if you needed a spare HDMI. I don't know if that's worth desoldering. Again, not for me. Your mileage might vary. Now these, again, are going to go in the bin just because they can't be paired, and it's a shame because these are actually okay. They weren't that bad at all. And I would have just used them on the PC, regardless. If that little 4K dongle had died, these would have just gone ahead and just been used as just standard controllers. They, I don't remember anything heinous about them when I was using them. And pop it apart. Now you do have some salvageable value in this. Oops, is that mainboard screwed down? Nope, just being awkward. And I don't really have experience with PlayStation controllers, but you might be able to customise these a little bit. So let's see what we can see. So the first thing is, these are quite cool. Like if you did want to take these off, you could reuse these for your other projects. So, you know, I might just snip that. That's cool, keep that part. Let's have a look on here. There's your Bluetooth, or well, I say Bluetooth, 2.4 gigs antenna. And what's interesting, that cable here has got all of the pinouts on here. Technically then you could wire up something else to this and just use this. In fact, this could be a nice little PCB just for your own projects because it's got quite big areas here to solder on. If you're inclined to make your own. There's the chip. Let's see if we can read it off. Nope. Laser etched, it seems. The only thing I can see on there is C016966, but I suspect that won't help us. And then whatever this is. So yeah, between those two, they're really doing everything. Possibly one's the microcontroller and the other one's handling the radio. I mean, it's got that vibe about it. Really, that's all there is to them, isn't it? I mean, I remember when I pulled apart an Xbox Elite controller, there's loads of pieces. Not as many as this, but if you think of the cost of actually making the tooling of this, they've really put a decent amount of effort into it for something. I mean, you'd want to try to keep it as minimal as possible. If you do have an older PlayStation, I don't know if these parts would be compatible, so there's always an opportunity there if these things would work in a genuine older console. But there you go. So really, I don't really recommend buying one of these. Again, not just being able to have spares for stuff like this is so annoying. You can see one's marked S2 and the new one is marked S2 RX, and they did have a few different flavours. It wasn't that they were that expensive, but it's just like I took the best punt I could based on the knowledge I had, and it was found wanting, I'm afraid. I wonder if there's anything interesting to see in these. Just getting in there. It's quite amazing, really, when we started first seeing these small circuits that are really built into the tiny little dongles. The one that's most familiar to me at the moment is the Bluetooth, the PC Bluetooth and Wi-Fi combo, but look at that. That is cool. So you can see the little tiny antenna there. And there's your little device that's just doing everything, emulating that whole joystick interface to Windows. Has its own oscillator there, its own crystal. Now, the curious thing is if we compare it to the other one, get rid of that, is it the same? We'll just crack this one open as well in the same way. So this is the original one. I'm wondering if they operate on different frequencies for different regions, and that will be really apparent if that's the case, because it will have a totally different shaped antenna. Well, it's got different colour PCB, we know that much. Get that off. I think we'll have to get this piece of plastic. So it does have an LED on board too. No, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Right. Come on. Ah. So it's not going to be able to give up its secrets because the chip is straight onto the PCB and then covered in an epoxy blob. But you can see from the antenna shape they are going to be the same frequency. So yeah, maybe it's just coding, slightly different encoders, different devices. I mean, this new one looks way better. In fact, I can read some writing out here on the back. This one says HD 2.4G LSW RX version 1.31, and it was 2022, 4th of March 2022 that was made. This is the 23rd of February 2023, so obviously this is later by nearly a year. And really this is W3RX 1.0, so yeah, totally different serial number. So yeah, maybe they're just totally different revision, which is annoying really, because you can see that that's got to go with that PCB that we saw here. And you just have no idea. But yeah, if you've got any experience of these, have I just wasted a bit of money by trashing these? Let me know. And if you're watching this on a Friday, have a great weekend, and if you're watching it on a Monday, have a great week ahead. Bye bye.